This week's Torah portion of Parshat Vayetze is also the week in which we mark the 4th year since Gila's passing, her Azkara, as many of you know. And I want to share with you a thought that I shared on the day of her Azkara Li'ilui Nishmata, in her memory. In Parshat Vayetze, we know of the famous dream whereby Yaakov Avinu is running away from his birthplace and he arrives in a place close to Beit El. And the Torah tells us in Perek Chaf Chet Pasuk Yud Aleph, Vayikach me'avnei hamakom. He takes many stones, plural, and puts them under his head. But then when he awakens, the Torah says, Vayikach et ha'even, singular, one stone, asher sam marashotav. What happened? Rashi says that all of the stones combined and fused into one. What does this represent? It represents the fact that when we talk about the Jewish people, the stones, the Evan, Av Ben, the father's son, the Bniyah, the construction of the Jewish people, there are many stones. Many stones represents diversity. There are many different types of people. There are many different types of hashkafot, of perspectives. And what we have a hard time doing is living with those differences. By the way, I include myself 100%. When I was intolerant of people, which happens very often, or when I be judgmental of people, which also happens very often, when Gila was alive, she'd reprimand me and tell me, Abba, what's the matter with you? Maybe that's their way of praying. Maybe that's their way, or maybe that's what means a lot to them. Let them express themselves in their own respective manner. It's something that I learned a lot when she was alive, and after she died, I embraced, but with time, Rahman al-Itzlan, I have forgotten. And I have to recharge my batteries. I have to remind myself, especially at this time, when there's so much disparity amongst the Jewish people. There are so many avanim. There are so many types of stones. And the slogan that we have for the war now, very often is, Ein yamin, ein smol, yesh rak achdut. There is no right, there is no left, there's only unity. It's wrong. There is right and there is left. And there always will be right and left and center. And there always will be differences of opinions. You ever meet Jewish people otherwise? 100% there will be, and there will continue to be for eternity. But that's okay. What's not okay is when we can't tolerate someone else's opinion. When we can't just take a moment and listen to them. We never have to agree with them. But you got to be able to listen. Yaakov Avinu collects many stones, the diversity of the Jewish people. And listen carefully to what Rav Mordechai Greenblatt writes. I quote you verbatim. Habaya metoreret kasher kol even omeret alai yaniach tzadik et rosho. The problem is, when every stone proclaims, only on my stone can this tzaddik, can this righteous person, representative of righteousness, the Torah, only on my stone can the Torah be laid to rest. Only on my stone is there the right for righteousness to exhibit itself. Nay. V'chol shevet savur shehu ikar habayit. Every single tribe, every person believes, every party believes that they're right. Ve'eno makir be'erech u'betzorech shel hasheni. And they do not recognize and they do not give recognition to the necessity, to the need of every single diverse stone. That doesn't mean they agree with them. It means that they give them recognition. The right to speak, the right to express, the right to present. That has to be there. The Jewish people will always have differences in many colors and many means of expressing itself in many denominations. That doesn't mean that anybody is pasul. We don't agree with them. We don't hold the same values. We don't have perhaps the same halachic perspectives, but that doesn't make a Jew more pasul than the other. We can listen to them. We can respect them. We can demonstrate reverence to them. The beauty of Gila. There's so many beautiful things. One of the beautiful things about Gila was that she never saw diversity. She knew that many people were different, and there are differences between people, but everyone in the end of the day is not a Jew. Everyone in the end of the day is a human being. Everyone in the end of the day has a right to talk and a right to express themselves. I remember the story about a person who decided to transform themselves from a girl to become a man, a boy. And he told me that the only person in the hospital who recognized him as a he was Gila. Everyone else still called her she, and it bothered him. Gila was the only one who addressed him as a he. And he told me that it meant so much to him. Gila was able to see through the diversity and say differences are there, but that doesn't mean I can't respect the human being. And in the end of the day, when Yaakov Avinu, Jacob, our forefather, offers brachot, blessings to all of the Shvatim, it doesn't say Vayevarech Otam. The Torah tells us, he says like this, Vayevarech Otam Kol Echad. Every single person got his own distinct bracha, his own distinct blessing. Because Yaakov, in the end of his life, recognized that everyone has something to bring to the table. So should we. And so did Gila. This is the Torah way. It is the Jewish way. It is time for unity, not agreement. Unity. There's a difference. And this is the Gila way. Shabbat Shalom.